What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Trading to Glory. You guys should expect a lot more uploads of Trading to Glory in December than you did in November. Obviously, there's going to be a few days where I've got finals and everything, so that's coming up in this next upcoming week. But for the most part, I'm going to try to upload more Trading to Glory episodes and still keep up with the Squad Building Challenge uploads as well. So just more content in general this month, guys. Let's get it. But starting it off, guys, in today's episode, we're going to talk about Team of the Week 11 and how Team of the Week 10 is also going to affect these investments a little bit. How Team of the Week 10 was such an outlier, guys. But if it does end up helping you guys out, you can drop a like and subscribe to the channel. Let's start off with my favorite investments from Team of the Week 11. We've got Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Caligiuri, and Lang. Those three defenders I really like because you guys know how much of a fan I am at investing in fullbacks. Center backs I like as well, but fullbacks are especially always my favorite investments in informs. And our last fullback investment, if you guys remember, was actually Jonas Hector. And we know how that worked out quite well. Now, don't expect to make the profits we made on Jonas Hector on these guys, but still definitely expect profit because as we're speaking, Caligiuri's about 20,000 coins, maybe 20 to 21k. And yeah, you can see one on a bid there for 21k. That's about what he's going for. The problem with that is Lang is a right back from the exact same league and the exact same team of the week. Now, obviously, Lang being from Switzerland and being lower rated, it's not as good of a card in terms of an investment, but it is near discard right now. Somebody's got a price fix of 15k there, but you can definitely tell it's less than 15,000 coins given the supply of cards at 15k. It's about like 12 to 13,000 coins right now. If you can get this card for as close to discard as possible, it is a very good discard investment. We're coming up on Player of the Month, which is going to be a big topic of today's video. Caligiuri, also a good Player of the Month investment, on top of the fact that he's Italian, and that's something to consider because of all the Italians you can link with in higher rated squads as we enter into Footmas. So when we're investing in Caligiuri, not only is he a decent card, there's not too many right backs to choose from in Bundesliga, but Caligiuri is also going to be a Player of the Month investment. He's also going to be a Footmas investment, and given his price right now as not the cheapest 83 in the game, but close to it, it is a good investment. You aren't really risking too much, especially as we enter into Footmas. There's going to be so many squad building challenges, guys, for those untradeable cards, assuming that it's a similar Footmas than we've had in previous years. There's going to be a lot of untradeable cards during Footmas, which means that there's going to be a lot of inform requirements for those SBCs, and Caligiuri is going to be one of those main cards that people will use. Him, Batshuayi, Gignac, and even Trent Alexander-Arnold can't be written off because this is a card that's a decent card, again, that can be used in teams. I'm not saying it's a crazy good card. I'm not saying it's as good as Kyle Walker, but it's definitely usable. There's definitely going to be people putting this in their weekend league team, especially if they're on some sort of budget. But Trent Alexander-Arnold is an 82 rated English right back from Liverpool, and as we're expecting Raheem Sterling to win the Player of the Month from right wing as an English player, not on the same team, but then again, Raheem Sterling used to play for Liverpool, so there's a connection there as well. It's a very good Player of the Month Premier League investment at about 30,000 coins, guys. So Trent Alexander-Arnold, Caligiuri, those are my two favorites from this Team of the Week. Then we've got Lang. That's one of my favorite discard investments, and as cheap as you can possibly get, Aaron Moy as well, because Aaron Moy is the cheapest Premier League inform by a long shot. He's about 15,000 coins right now the last time I checked. Maybe he's gone up a couple thousand coins from yesterday, but that might also be an outlier. He could still be down at 15 to 16,000 coins. Nonetheless, guys, he's the cheapest inform from the Premier League, so you aren't risking too much as long as you buy this card and then sell into the hype. You don't want to be holding a card like Moy once the SBC drops, because if they don't require an inform from the Premier League, then you're kind of screwed and you're going to lose coins. So always sell those kind of cards into the hype. For cards like Caligiuri, that's a card that you aren't risking as much if you hold, because if Caligiuri isn't needed for Player of the Month Bundesliga, he'll likely be needed several times within Footmas, so you're kind of doubling up, and you don't necessarily have to sell a Caligiuri into the Player of the Month Bundesliga hype. What you could do, though, is sell him into the Bundesliga hype, buy him back once the SBC actually drops. Hopefully it works out for you, and you can go on from there and actually maximize your profits, but that method's a little bit more risky. Another one is Santi Mina and Cazorla. They're pretty much the exact same reasons why these cards would be good investments. They're Spanish, they're 83 rated, and they're in La Liga. Those are great links. We always see these cards from La Liga every year, every time these drop into Team of the Week. When SBCs come, they always go up in price. Like, for an 83 rated card like Santimina, he's actually cheaper than Caligiuri right now. There's no way a Santimina or a Cazorla could really get much lower than what they are right now. And they're going to get great links not only with each other, but with a ton of other informs, a ton of other 83 and 84 rated cards. They get strong links with Otteries, with Moreno. They get strong links with Alara Mendy, Lucas Vazquez. These are all really common cards to be used in squad building challenges. And the fact that they get green links with them and even hyperlinks depending on what team you go with certain players from. But those are great cards for SBC investments. I'm not going to go through the entire Team of the Week. If you have a question about a certain card, guys, go ahead and drop it in the comment section below. I could obviously talk about each card individually, but I don't want to take up too much time at the beginning of this video talking about the informs that I'm not necessarily going to be getting into this week. But what we are expecting next week is UCLs are going to be back on December 11th, I believe it's the Tuesday. December 11th is going to have UCL SBCs, and then Wednesday is going to have UCL SBC, and then they'll be out of packs again by that Thursday, which means that Tuesday and Wednesday, December 11th, December 12th, those are big investments for UCL days, and I'm looking forward to that because we'll be picking up a lot of them, because you got to consider it's going to be at least about a month and a half before, it'll actually be near 2 months before they go into the knockout stages, which will be in like beginning of February, like February 12th or something. That's when the UCLs are going to be back into SBCs commonly. Now, you could expect them to drop several different, SBCs that give UCL cards during Footmas or during Team of the Year, and they probably will, don't get me wrong, but the main supply for these UCL cards is obviously when the UCLs are playing. And given the fact that we've seen these cards literally rise so much within 2, 3, 4 days. Imagine what maybe 2 weeks could do to the price of those cards in terms of getting rarer and rarer on the market. I mean, I saw Benatia UCL card go from 65K to literally doubling in price to 130K. I'm not even joking. I have it on my transfer targets for proof. He sold for 130K last night, and he's still going for like 115, 120, which is insane. I'll even try to get in on that bid in 10 minutes, but you guys get the point. I mean, once these cards go out of packs and you get into the weekend, it's just the timing is perfect because you buy these UCL cards on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then Thursday, it's just the perfect storm of events that happen every time that brings these cards up in price. First thing, you got division rival rewards and weekend league rewards, and those bring more buying power. Then you've got the weekend league demand and the cutoff of supply, and it's just everything points to them rising in price every time that happens. So we're going to do it every single time it happens, and I wasn't able to get in on them this last week just because I was just too busy with school and everything, and hopefully you guys understand that I can't be uploading every single day because a lot of the times I do get too busy with classes and homework, and I'm not able to stream or upload and stuff like that. So just understand that. We still got our Allisons, and they've been selling to lazy buyers. I still have so many of them left, but I'm in no rush to sell until I need the coins for Allison. Why would I list them for so cheap as they are right now? I'm losing coins on them, and we knew that a week ago. But I mean, they continually sell to lazy buyers every now and then. I've had 3 or 4 of them sell for 22,000 coins, which is profit, like big profit on the card, let alone not losing coins on it. So hopefully I can just come out like with as little of a loss on those Allisons as possible, and I'm patient. I will hold those cards another couple weeks if I have to, until like they get brought up for Player of the Month or brought up for Footmas SBCs or something random. I don't know, but there's no reason for me to sell them at this low point they are right now. If anything, I'll go out and buy other 85s as an investment. But I'm never going into Allison ever again. I'm not investing in Allison. It's not happening. I'm just staying away from that card. That was our first big L of the year in terms of an investment, and you guys saw that in our last episode. So that's going to be the focus of today. Invest in those informs. I'm going to pick up as many as I can today. And then tonight, we have also got squad battle rewards. During squad battle rewards, we're going to be bidding, we're going to be sniping, and picking up low budget cards and flipping them for profit, making 30 to 100K every Sunday night. If you guys don't know how to do that, it'll be explained at the end of this video anyway, so just stick around for that, guys. But again, if this video is helping you out, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and come to think of it, I still don't have my silver play button. I gotta look into that. Lang does have another thing going for him, though. Given the fact that he is a very cheap inform, yes, that's great, and getting him for, 12,000 coins, Very good deal, but he also has Player of the Month Bundesliga by his side. Yes, he is in Bundesliga, but he's also from Gladbach, guys. And if you take a look at the most likely players to win Player of the Month November, it's between Thorgan Hazard, a Gladbach player, and Marco Reus, a Dortmund player. So take a look at right here. This is Foot Chief. All the games of November are placed in this category, so you can ignore Timo Werner of December. I don't know how accurate entirely this is going to be. I don't know, given the fact that like half of that weekend, this last weekend, like the Friday games were in November, the Saturday games and Sunday games were in December. It's tough to tell what they're going to count those games for, but I believe they're going to count them for November, guys, because it did start the weekend in November, and they didn't release the nominees on the Friday either. So they're probably going to release them next Friday, which would mean that, yes, those games counted for November. But that is a little bit more iffy. Nonetheless, the front runners are still going to be Thorgan Hazard and Marco Reus. And Werner, given the fact that those games were played, yes, on December 1st, he still could have a chance at being a Player of the Month, but very, very much so less than Hazard and Reus. And with Hazard, in comparison to Reus, he's got one more assist, he's got one more man of the match, and he's got a higher rating with the exact same amount of goals, and they both went 3-0 in the month of November. So that means that Thorgan Hazard is most likely to end up winning Player of the Month. But it's EA, and also with this Player of the Month Bundesliga vote, guys, with this vote, and yes, EA doesn't have like too much of a say with Player of the Month, if any, with Bundesliga. But the vote comes down to 40% fan vote, 40% or 30% expert vote, 30% captain vote. So it could go either way still. We've seen it in the past 2 months where like seemingly the most likely player actually didn't end up winning it, because Duda was like one stat ahead of Reus, and Reus ended up winning it. Jovic was like a stat ahead of Jadon Sancho, and Sancho ended up winning it. So given the fact that, yes, Hazard is a stat ahead of Marco Reus, Reus could still end up winning it. Nonetheless, guys, we will be selling most of these into the hype anyway. So we don't actually need a certain player to win Player of the Month. We just need them to be building into the hype, and that's what will happen with cards that are obviously have the best stats in the game. So Thorgan Hazard. So we can go ahead and throw him into the club or throw him to the transfer list. I'll do that in a minute. And I got that length for about 12.5k there. And he's going for like 13,000 coins right now. But he does pop up for less than 13k quite often. I have no issue buying him for 12.5k because, again, with a card like this, guys, a fullback from Bundesliga, even if it's not going up for Player of the Month, it'll go up for something else, you know? We've seen it in the past. We've seen it happen for every single inform. At one point was up to like 18,000 coins, if you guys remember that. So getting a card of this stature, even if it is only 81 rated, that's still solid. For Player of the Month, Premier League, I already mentioned who it's likely to end up being, and we've seen that already. We can take a look at it right now. Potm Premier League for November, guys. Raheem Sterling is in the lead, but he does have one more assist than Sane. The difference is Sane does have a little bit of a higher rating overall. Obviously, they play for the same team at Manchester City, so it's pretty close, but we're pretty certain it's going to be Sterling, because when it's a tie, most of the time they're going to give it to the person who's English. That's just how it's been in the past. I think Raheem Sterling, given the fact that he is English, Sane is German, they're going to probably want to give it to Sterling. But we saw last year, I believe it was between these same two players, guys, the Young Player of the Year, they actually gave it to Sane anyway. So maybe not. I don't know what they're going to end up giving it to. Either way, it is a Man City player that's going to end up winning Player of the Month for November. So picking up Man City gold players is also a pretty solid buy. And then we've also got this Trent Alexander-Arnold. But at 35,000 coins, I'm not going to lie, that's a little bit pricey for me. In my opinion, that's a little bit high up in price for an 82 rated right back, even if it is Trent Alexander-Arnold with this card. I don't know if 35k is reasonable. I would pay up to like 27, 28k on this card. But I'm not comfortable dishing out 35k for him, to be quite honest. I would rather go with like the players like Aaron Moy and the likes of that. Obviously, yes, I did try to buy him at 32K there, but that was just so I could quick flip him and make a couple thousand coins. I wouldn't have been holding on to that card because I don't think that he can hold this price unless he's needed directly for an SBC. Even if they were to require an inform from Premier League guys, that card's probably not going to rise very much just because people are investing in this Trent Alexander-Arnold. We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones thinking, yes, this Trent Alexander-Arnold's a good SBC card, which means that there's a lot of people that are investing in this card, which also means, guys, that there's a lot of people that are ready to sell this card when the SBC does end up dropping. And if he's not required, that card could crash big time. As opposed to something like Lang, that Lang card can't really crash. Even if it were to drop all the way to discard price, we're losing 2,000 coins per card. And even then, we can just rely on that card being used for Footmas in the end as well, if you wanted to hold on to that card, if you wanted to take the risk. For Trent Alexander-Arnold, you would have to sell into the hype beforehand. If you don't, you're absolutely screwed. So I don't like Trent Alexander-Arnold as much as players like Caligiuri, like Lang, and like even Moy from the exact same league. But there are a lot of players from Man City that you can pick up. So either way, whether it's Raheem Sterling, whether it's going to be Leroy Sané, you can almost bank on a possible Man City requirement for these cards. There are different Man City players to go with. Obviously, I have no idea what the price of Otamendi is, but Otamendi, let's see. I'm trying to think of all the different players that you could possibly pick up. Kompany would be absolutely brilliant. Kompany is a good one. Given the fact that he's one of the cheaper, like 85 rated players, I believe, in the game. Yeah, as an 85 rated player, he's obviously Premier League and Man City guys. He's not the cheapest 85 in the game, but he's only about 2K above the cheapest 85, which I believe is like Zlatan and Alisson and Paulinho and those guys. I like Kompany as investment. You've got Undawan. Undawan's a good one. İlkay Gündoğan. He's a little bit more, I believe, than like Bernardo Silva, but still, Gündoğan at 5K for an 84 rated card, not bad at all, given the fact the cheapest 84 is about 3.5K right now. Bernardo Silva is probably going to be the cheapest 84 from this team, so I really like Bernardo Silva as an investment. So you guys get the point. There's probably several others I'm forgetting. John Stones is another example. He's a little bit lower rated, but he's still a card that could definitely work out. We see him needed for SBCs all the time. If there's a Premier League SBC required, then he's probably going to be a good card for it. Or if there's a Manchester City or a combination of both, he's going to be a very good card for that. Obviously, I'm kind of blanking on a lot of cards right now. Normally, I'm better at doing this off the top of my head, but you get the point. Manchester City gold players are a go. Those cards will definitely rise into the hype. And right now, we're in a period of not a lot of supply hitting the market, just a normal couple of weeks, guys, and we haven't had that in a while because it has been, to be fair to EA, a lot of nonstop content. We've had promotion after promotion after promotion, and until Footmas starts, which it could be as early as tomorrow, or it could be as late as like the 12th or something like that. We've got at least like this upcoming week where even if Footmas drops, there's not going to be a huge amount of supply hitting the market. Everybody's bank accounts dry from Black Friday. There's not going to be a ton of FIFA point packs being open unless EA do something spectacular. So that is what you should expect, is just a stable market over the next couple of weeks until Team of the Year panic begins, which won't happen until the end of December. So again, we have a couple of weeks where we are a little bit, stable with the market. So if we make investments, we can't really expect them to crash until later in the month, which is a good thing. It's also a bad thing, which means that also there's not going to be too many different opportunities to go 2 million coins into a single investment. I think the UCL rare cards are going to be a good opportunity. I think that on the day Player of the Month is dropped, there are going to be certain investments we can go ham on, but there's not going to be too many different opportunities. Overall, prices are going to rise in price, guys, especially cards needed for SBCs, Informs, 83s, 84s, 85s, 86s, 87 rated cards all throughout Footmas. And I don't think that the promotions and the packs are really going to weigh it out. I think they're definitely going to rise in price. For the higher rated cards, the elite cards, the metas, the Messis, the icons. Now, when I say icons, I mean meta icons for weekend league teams, not the base icons, none of that stuff. Those cards should also stay pretty stable and not drop a lot through the next couple of weeks. They could rise maybe 3 to 5%, but nothing significant either, just because people will be picking them up for their weekend league teams and not really selling them too much because there's no reason to until the team of the year panic. So that's what you should expect throughout the next couple of weeks. I'm going to throw the Sunday bidding into just a clip on Twitch. If you guys want to watch that, it's live every night on Twitch. You guys, if you wanted to watch Sunday bidding, you can check it out on a past broadcast or watch it live. So I don't know if we have to record that for the Trading to Glory every single week. You guys get it. You know how to do it. And I kind of want to make it just sort of on the Twitch channel from now on, just because I can finish the editing early and then I can get this video out a lot easier, because then I'm editing at like 2 a.m. on a school night and it's just not convenient for me. So hopefully you understand that, guys. But that's it for today's episode. If you did enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.